So, good morning, friends. I'm Satish here from Pragnan AI. So, I think I will just show the syllabus of um, VTU, and then we will cover accordingly. So, this is the VTU C programming syllabus. So, uh, So in the first session, we covered about what is computer input output device. This is very, very basic. Designing efficient program, introduction to C, structures of C, files used in C program, compiler. Please mute. Please mute. See, compiling and executing C programs, variable constant input statements. It's like not entire thing, with all the important one. Like introduction to C, we are done. Structure to C was done. So what are the files used in C? So what is meant by CPP and all those things? Compiler. This is all done in the first session. So today we'll discuss about operators in C. Type conversion we discussed earlier. Again, we'll discuss here. So and decision, if statements and loop statements. That is what we'll complete, and we'll do problems. Like so, first we'll complete in 1.5 hour, 8 to 8:30. Sorry, 9:30, and then remaining portion we will be covering after 5 p.m. So we will complete this model, and this model is very. See, this is the introduction model, but like generic kind of things. But in this one, two important things what you should be knowing actually how to read value and how to write value. This is very much important. This is very important, and the entire thing. This session is important. So this session is important, and the next model also very important. So and this model like next model also. This is from here onwards like what you will be getting is actually most important kind of concepts, because the first one is actually just introduction kind of things. So and here onwards like we will be doing lot more problems, so equivalent to what we learn. So whatever we learn here, we will be doing lot more problems here. So this is, and we will be going a little bit faster so that the things will be covered in the short period of time. So fine. So any questions in the last class? Anybody has not understood any of the things in the last class, we can ask, or else we can proceed further. So we know what is C, and these all things we have done. So the thing which we have to cover, like scanf and printf, all we covered in the earlier one. So there were two more are there. One is get chr and put chr. This we'll discuss a little bit later on, not right now. So first we'll start with operators in C. What exactly operators in C? So what is meant by operators? Like so, if what exactly the intention of the writing a program is to do compute something, to do some specific task. It can be compute the equation and calculate the result, or do some kind of tasks. So for example, if I say f of x is equal to so x square plus 1. So now the intention of the program is actually write a program for this kind of things. So or certain kind of things. Like so what I'm trying to do is actually I'm trying to do certain kind of, like what I'm trying to do is actually I'm trying to whatever the value you are trying to do. So if you are passing x is equal to 0, what I'm trying to do is actually or 1. Assume that like I'm passing x is equal to 1. What I'm doing actually x into x I'm trying to do, x square means plus 1 means like there is one operation, that is multiplication. There is one operation what is called addition, and then this result I'm trying to assign to something that, like, assume that, like, if it is ffx, this is y, assume that, like, this is y. So I'm assigning. It's like there is one assignment operator, there is a multiplication, there is like, so when I'm trying to some kind of a task, we will perform specific operations, specific operations on values. So what is this x, what is this y, what is this, actually these are all variables. So means like when we need to study what all operators are supported in C program. So there are mathematical operators, like we can classify something called a mathematical operators. So math operators, so or logical operators, something. What are the math operators? We generally do what kind of operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So these are the common thing we do. So these all supported. So in the what is called C code. So let us see that, like, what all the operators supported. So operators supported is plus, that is addition of to number, minus, subtraction, star, multiplication, division, and there is one more called percentage. What is this actually? This is the modulus operator. So we'll discuss one by one. So this we already know what is addition, what is subtraction, what is multiplication, what is division. So new one is actually modulus. So let us discuss this modulus first. Then we'll do small program to do this operation. So now let me give a number, something that like n is equal to 4 and m is equal to something that like 8. So what I wanted to actually m modulus n. So then what is it means? So now if I divide m is 8, correct? If I divide m by 4, how should I divide actually? 4 2 ja 8. So what I get this. So this is what actually, this is a reminder. So this is a reminder. So this is a multiplication. This is a multiplication. 4 2s are correct. So now when I say m modulus n is equal to what is actually 8 modulus 4, correct? So this is equal to what I will be getting actually, what is there in the remainder. So remainder here is 0. So it's like when I say 8 modulus 4, I'll be getting remainder, that is always remainder. So here in this case, it is 0. So let us take one more example. So now I'm trying to do 16 modulus 5. 16 modulus 5. Then what would be the output? So 16 I should be dividing by 5. 5 3s are 15. What is left out? 1. So what is the answer? Answer will be 1. Is that clear? Guys, is it clear? Modulus? Anyone has a doubt about modulus? Okay. So this is the operator supported in C. So this is a mathematical operators. What all these operators? Mathematical operator. Why it is mathematical operator? Because they do mathematical operations. So even modulus is also mathematical operation, because I'm trying to divide. But thing is, like, I'm not, see, usually like when I divide, so I will be giving, so there are two kind of a division will be there. Like, so now this is how I will be trying to divide. So now if I do 16 by 5, what I will be getting? So I will be getting something like that. I would have get something like that, like 3 point. So something 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 is actually 3.2. So I would have got this way. So I would have got something like this. But if I do normal division, so but what I'm trying to do is actually I'm trying to do modulus. Modulus is also division, but I'm not getting the this value, this side value. I'm getting the remainder value. So that is what I will be getting. But this is also some kind of operation, mathematical drill. Means like I'm trying to do some kind of division and getting the remainder. So that is the reason. These are all mathematical operators. Any questions here? Anybody not understood these addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? So then how should we do the program? So there are multiple ways that to do the program. So I already mentioned you can open any of these compiler. So you can open any of these compiler and write the code there. So you can start opening the how should I perform those operations? So how should I do those kind of operations? Like let us write a simple code to do the operations. So now let me write this code here. So what I wanted to demonstrate, how should we do addition of two numbers, subtraction of two number, division of two numbers. So first is actually, let us see that like, so this is important. First is include stdio.h is important because that is, so hash is there to include and then this stdio dot within the bracket is necessary. This is essential, has to be there. So how I'm writing, so this is a comment here. So it is important. It is important. So that is the first thing what we should try actually, like this is first you should be trying to write this portion. So only this include int main and a flower bracket starts, flower bracket ends and return. This is called skeleton or structure of C. So first you should be writing this skeleton and structure because anything when you try to write a C program, so you should first able to write this structure. So this is a very much important. So for assume that like I have written the structure. Now what is the intention now I'm trying to add two number. So I wanted to check these operators. So plus minus something like that. So means like I wanted to add two number, subtract two number, multiply two number, divide two numbers. So do modulus operations. So now how should I do the first actually? Since I need two values, so what I'll be doing, I'll be initializing two values. So I can take any number. So I can take int or I can take float or can anything. So let us take integer. So int a, I'm assigning something that like a 10 or like I will say that like 14. So now b I'm trying to assign what is that actually? So 20. So not 2 or like 3. So let us do the 3 and then c. Why c is necessary? I need to store into the result into another variable c. So now I initialized defined a is a variable of int and I'm assigned value 14. B is another variable of int value 3. C is another variable. So these three variable I have defined. How I have defined? So I have separated by the comma. So this comma is very much important and the semicolon is very important. So now I have done 3. So what is the next thing actually? I should be doing one operation. First, what is operation? C is equal to a plus b because I wanted to show how the addition works. So a is equal to then semicolon. Now I should be printing the result. So something that like I'm cutting and pasting from here so that to speed up the activity. So print. So how should I print? Print a plus b is equal to. This is actually like I wanted to print not just value. I wanted to print something that like so I wanted to print a plus b equal to, then I wanted to have value here. So that is the reason I put quotes here. So now I wanted to value here, correct? So now what value I wanted? A decimal. If it is integer, then decimal value. So integer value. So I wanted a percentage d here. Then comma and the value. So this is how I will be trying to write the code. So whatever you want, like for example, if you want to write something that like addition of two number, add addition of two number equal to, and here you wanted a value, then where you wanted a value, that place you should be doing percentage, and what value you wanted an integer, so I put here. Then this is how I will be closing this thing, and then comma, then the variable name. So something similar to that I have done here. So what I have done is actually printf in quotes a plus b is equal to, and here I wanted to print value. So then, so now in the quotes, but what is this actually? After printing that, I wanted to go to the new text line. So what is this means actually? After printing this one, actually, after printing this value, so I should be going to the next value. So next line. So the next anything, if you want to print, you should be printing on the next line. So that is the reason /n. If /n is there, it doesn't go to the next line. And this comma, so it's like this ends here. And how many percentage is there? How many percentage you are using? 1. So comma 1. So what you wanted to print? C. C is an integer. So that is the reason with percentage D. So this is the one thing I have done. So now the semicolon. So this just prints the addition. But I am also wanted to have subtraction. So then what is I am trying to do? C is equal to A minus B. So I wanted to do subtraction. Then I wanted to print that. So it is exactly same thing. So only thing is actually here I wanted to A minus B. So that's it. So what is the multiplication? So this is a multiplication A into star A star B. So I am trying to print the multiplication result. So now same thing, I want to do modulus. So then I wanted to do a subtraction. A divided 1. This is for a division. I wanted to show for a division. So I wanted to print for a division. Then for modulus. So for modulus. So this is how you can keep writing the code. So or you can try one by one also. It is not necessary that like entire thing you should be writing in one go only. So you can try one by one also. Like if you first you add 2 and then print the execute and then you add, keep on adding. That is also another way of writing the code. So now what I have done is actually percentage. And then reminder when you divided A by B is equal to percentage D. Rest all is same. So I'm trying to run the code. So this is what I got. So 14 plus 3 is 17. 14 minus 3, 11. 14 into 3, 42. 14 divided by 3, that is 4. So now, what is exactly you should be understanding? If I divide 14 by 3, what is the result? Anyone? If I divide 14 by 3, what will happen? What is the result? It is 4.66. Let us try using calculator here. So if I do 14 divided by 3, what I'm getting? 4.66. But what is the result here? What is the result here? Is 4. Why is this? Why is this 4?
Because we have declared it as integer type.
Yes. So what exactly happens is, since see, this computes the output, that is 4.66 actual. But what you are trying to do is actually you are trying to assign that to a variable C. The C is of int. So what happens actually? So this is a float. This is a float. But what variable you are assigning, that is C. So C is integer. So it will convert this float into integer. So this is called typecasting. This is called implicit typecasting. So implicit typecasting happens and it will discard this floating thing and only integer value is assigned. So that we discussed in the last class, implicit and explicit typecasting. So this is implicit typecasting because even though the result is float, but I'm trying to assign to integer. So the value is converted from float to integer by discarding the decimal points. But if C was float, then it would have printed. So how should we check actually whether the C was float, then it would have got the result. So it would have changed actually. Like, so I can, you want to check that actually, like I can do that also. Like what I'll be doing. So I'll be saying float C now while printing. So I should be using not as a percentage D, I should be printing as a percentage F for float. So I should be printing as a percentage F. So everywhere I should be printing as a percentage F. So that is a modification I have done since I have made C is equal to floating point. Since I made C is floating point, so everywhere I changed C as a floating point while printing. So now if I run it actually, I would have got but still I got integer only. So why? Still I got 4. Why? I should have got 4.66. Now why I got 4? Because these two are integer operators. So you have to convert one to any one to float. So how should I convert? I should multiply star dot one to something, and then I will be executing. So this is actually the typical question they would have asked actually to understand whether how good you understood about these implicit and explicit typecasting and how exactly C program performs the division, multiplication or something. So what is happened is actually, so even though you assigning to the float, that is fine. This C variable can hold the floating value. But thing is actually you are doing two integer division. So when you do integer division, so upper side is also integer, downside also integer. So then what exactly it does actually? So if you it will do integer division. That is actually it will give result 1. But what we are expecting is actually 1.33 we are expecting. So how should we do actually? Either this one I should convert float, either I should convert the downside as a float, any one as a float, because to make if both are integer, it does the integer division. And if it is assigned to again integer, assume that like no, there are two scenarios will come. One scenario is actually, so let us say this. So now 4 and 3 is integer. So it does integer division. So then result will be 1. Assume if I changed it to float, what will happen? Now I will get floating result. But if you are assigning to something C that is integer, again this will be converted into 1 only. So this side also you should have a float, and this division also you should have a floating division. Then only we'll be able to get the floating point values, because this is how the compiler or interpreter works. But your real mathematics, we don't need this. We don't need this. But in programming, you need to convert. It should not be integer division because it will get integer division, and also you should not assign to another variable of integer. So these two things has to be taken care. So then only you would have got the real value. Is it clear? Is it understood? So any doubts here? Who is not understood? What should I do to get a floating point value? So first thing is I converted, instead of integer division, I made it is actually one float, one integer. That is one thing. And then I converted C is equal to float. So this is how I am out. So even if it is after conversion also, if C is equal to what is called integer, then it will automatically typecast as an integer value. So it has to be float, and this has to be either numerical, either denominator, any one should be floating value to compute the floating point, to get the floating point results. This issue won't come in any of this addition subtraction. This only comes for division. Any questions? Any questions on this operator? So, okay, so we understood mathematical operators. If you have any question, let me know. So next one is actually increment and decrement operators. So what we will be doing actually, like we will be using this plus, we will be using this minus, not only for additional subtraction, something called unary plus unary minus. What is unary plus unary minus means? there is another approach. What is a unary plus unary minus? So now, if you want, if assume that like a is equal to 5, I wanted to add the number. So I wanted to add something. So I wanted to add increment this value. How should I increment? One way of incrementing is equal to a is equal to a plus 1 is one way of incrementing. So other way of incrementing is actually, instead of writing something like this, I will be saying so a plus plus or plus plus a. So this is called unary operator. So what is this called? This is called unary operator. So this is called pre-processing. This is called post-processing unary operator. What is pre-processing, post-processing, that we'll discuss. So what exactly happens actually? So automatically, so by using this plus plus, I'm trying to increment the value in the variable. So if it is the integer variable, I will be incrementing integer. If it is a floating point variable, I'll be incrementing the floating point value. So and similar to that, there is something called minus minus. Minus minus means like this is a unary operator. I am reducing by 1. So these both are fine. So this is pre and this is post. So I'll be reducing by 1. So this is called unary operators. Now let us discuss actually how exactly the plus plus a plus plus works and how exactly minus minus a works. So let us say that like a is equal to 5. Now what I'm trying to say, actually I'm trying to print plus plus a. So if I wanted to print this one, I'm trying to print this one actually. So plus plus a. What happens actually? First, so before printing, so what is actually, there are two activities are there. So what is the two activities? One activity is actually perform the operation, and second activity is print the result. Print the result. So now, if I say plus plus a, then actually it performs the operation on the a. So what is the initially a was? A was 5. So plus plus a means like it will become 6. So first it does operation and then it will print. Then it will print. So the 6. So now if you do other way around, so like a plus plus. So what it will do? First it will print and then it does the operation. It's like what happens actually, while result will be 5 only, but after that the operation will be conducted, then a value got changed to 6. First it will print it will print 5. So if you do this actually, like you are saying that like you do this operation later on, do whatever you want to do first operations. So that is how it will be there. Let us see that like what we are trying to do here. So let me write a small code to explore what is this plus plus and minus minus. So let's come here. So okay. So I'm trying to write a small code to perform the operations. So now let me go here. So what I'm trying to do is a is equal to 10, b is equal to 100, float c is equal to 10.5, d is equal to 100.5. So two integer, two floating point I'm doing. So now I'm doing plus plus first actually, that is print plus plus a is no percentage d. So what I'm trying to do is actually I'm trying to print the a value. So a, this is called prefix. So I'm trying to do first operation plus plus a minus minus b plus plus c minus minus d. So prefixing, and then here what I'm trying to do actually, I'm trying to do a plus plus and c, then b minus minus, c plus plus, d minus minus, like so post one. So what my intention here is actually, and see, I wanted to print this one first actually, and after that what I wanted to see is actually I wanted to see that like in the post one, first it will print the actual value and then the operation will be calculated. Then the a value got changed. So I wanted to print the again the changed value of a. So initially, like what is the value? So now let us see that like how exactly it works. So now initially, what is the value of a? A value is 10. So if I say plus plus means like A incremented to 11 and then it prints. So 11 I got. So now B is 100. So first it decrements. So 100 minus 1, so 99. So it will print 99. So same thing we'll see the other side. So if I see now again, what is the value here actually? So now value got changed. So what is the value? A become 11. So now again I'm trying to add A plus plus, but this operation will be done later on, not the first. So what is the value it will printed? It has printed value 11 only. And after that operation is calculated plus plus and then value incremented. So that is the reason this value what you got is 12. So what exactly happened is actually, so think about this way. So now initially A value is 10. So A value is 10. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm saying that like plus plus A printing plus plus A. So what happens actually, A value will be incremented. So this removed and value will be incremented and it will print 11 here. So now what I'm trying to do is, next what I'm trying to say is actually A again, I'm trying to do plus plus. So what happens actually, since this is I'm trying to print, but what happens, this will first print. So what is the value? Value was 11. So I'm trying to print value 11 and then it will increment. So now what happens actually, this A value becomes 12. Now again, after that, if you print A, then value what you would have got is 12. So this is what I'm trying to do here. So what I'm trying to do is actually A first I'm incrementing and after that I'm incrementing and then I'm trying to print. So this is a prefix and this is a postfix. So any questions here? Anybody not understood this? How these two works? This is actually most of the times they will be asking this kind of question. So any doubts? Okay, so any doubts here? Anybody not understood this plus plus A plus plus, difference between these two? Do you got understood? Not understood?
Understood, sir.
Okay, let us do one more example. So now assume that I am giving A is equal to 13. So now I am trying to print plus plus A and then I'm trying to print A, then I'm trying to print A plus plus, then I'm trying to print A. So what is the result here? 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 What would be the output here? Anyone? So A is 13. I'm trying to print plus plus A. Then I wanted to print A. Then I wanted to print A plus plus. Then I wanted to print A. Any answer?
14.
Okay, this is 14,
14.
14,
15.
15 or 14. First, whether it will print first or increment first. It will print first and then increments. So then here I will be getting 15. You got it? See here it first increments. Here first it uses the whatever value is there in A. So initial value is 14 and after using that then it will increment later on. So plus plus. So then A value got changed. It's like first uses the what old value to print or do whatever operation and after that it will increment. So that is the difference between plus plus before, plus plus after. Is that understood? Okay, let me do one more example, because this is most of the time they will be asking you. So now assume that like A is equal to 13, B is equal to 14. Now I'm trying to do plus A, then plus B plus B plus plus, assume that this is A plus plus, then this is B plus plus, then I'm trying to also do A plus plus. So now C is equal to, now I wanted to print C also, I wanted to print A also, I wanted to print B also. What will be the result? What is the C value? What is A value? What is B value? This is normal plus, this is also normal plus. So anyone? How exactly it works? C is equal to first. So before this going here, like what is this actually? This is plus plus A. What is A? 13. So before using A, so first it increments. So what is the value? It becomes 14. Then plus. Then what is actually B plus plus. So but before using value, it won't increment because it is a post increment. So it will have B 14. But V value got changed, but it just uses a 14. Then plus comes here. Now A plus plus. What is the A value? AL is 40. But it won't increment initially. It first uses and then increments. So then A value is 14 only. So now after this one, A value will change 15. So after this one, B value will change 15. So it's like while calculating, we got 14, 14, 14. So 14 into 3 is the what is the result. But while printing, so you would have got 14 into 3, how much? 42, correct? So it will print 42. And
So
A,
last month A will be 13, no?
which one? First one?
The second one. Yeah.
Why it is 13?
Because A plus plus is taken and afterwards it will become 14, right?
Yeah, but here we have already done, no? A plus plus.
That will consider the value which is incremented.
Yes, yes. So you see, it is depending on how you are calculating. Like first you are first performing this thing, and after that you are trying to solve this one, and then you are trying to do this one, then the result will be different. So I'm trying to say that like first it will solve this, then it will solve this, then it will solve this one. So how you are trying to compute? We'll come back that also. So now it is a 15 here, and will come 15 here. See, there are two things are there. So one thing is actually how, if this kind of equation is there, how it will start doing. How we will do addition actually, depending on different compiler will different ways. So if I start first try to solve this one first, and then this one first, and then this one first, then the result will be different. We'll see that also. And currently what I'm saying, first it will solve this one, then it will solve this one, then it will solve this one. And see, when I'm trying to say A plus plus, I'm directly modifying the value of A. Means like next time if I access A, I will got the modified value. See, it is something like this. So that is the reason I was asking. These are the typical questions they were asking. So when I say A plus plus A, when I say plus plus A, means like it is something equivalent to like this. So what I'm saying actually, if I execute this, means like I'm saying A is equal to A plus 1. So when I solve this one means like, so A values got modified. Only thing is the difference here is actually if I say A plus plus, this also does the same thing. But when this value is updated, it will be updated later on. So what happens initially, it will take value. So now let us take the same example, what I was trying to give here. So A is equal to 13. B is equal to, what is a B? B is 14, correct? So B is equal to 14. B is equal to 14. Now C is equal to what I was trying to say, plus A. So now this is plus A. Then what I was saying, B plus plus. So B plus plus. Then what I was saying is actually A plus plus. So now A plus plus. Now if I execute this way, then this will be executed. So when I do execute this one, A value was 13 and it doesn't use a. So automatically because this has to be performed. So what happens actually, I'm trying to change the value of A. So A plus plus, what will happen actually? It will increment that. And then I'm trying to put. So 14 here, correct? Because this first it will compute this, correct? It is something that like what I'm trying to do is actually like first I'm trying to solve A is equal to A plus 1. So this will be computed and then A value will be replaced here. So that is what is happening here. So 14 I am doing. And then B plus plus, what happens actually? The B value is incremented, but first is actually I'm just not computing this. First I'm just taking the old value of the B, that is a 14. So then after that, I will be computing this. Means like the B value will get changed after taking the old value. So next, what happens actually, same thing happens. What is the A value? A value initially was 14, now modified and then change. So now it will become 14. So this is how. But other way around, if you are coming, so what happens actually? So assume that like first I'm trying to compute this. What is the value? A value is 13. But I'm not modifying A values. What is that actually? I'm just taking the old value. That is 13. Then I'm trying to modify. So after this thing, A value will become 14. Now what is that actually? Now B plus plus. What is a B? B is 14. So I'm trying to take 14. Then after that, the B value got changed. Then again A plus plus. What is the A value? A value was 14. So I'm trying to do first initially. Then I'll be incrementing and then doing it. So 15 plus 14 plus 13. So this is how the result will be. So depending on how you compute. Is that clear? Is it understood? So that is the plus or minus like the post and pre. So now if you see here actually like B, here I am deducted. What was the B? B was 100. So now what will become 100 minus 1 is 99. So next time if I'm trying to use B, actually what is actually B is 99. But here also I'm deducting, but I will be deducting later on. So only 99 I will be printing. But here after that, no, it's like after the printing that I have decremented. No, so values got affected. Here I will be getting 98. So that is important of post and pre. Any questions here? Anybody not understood post and pre? So it is a little bit like a tricky. You should be solving multiple problem to understand that. Any questions here? Or shall we try one more? One more example. Okay. So let C is equal to 10. Now I'm trying to do C minus minus. Then I'm printing C. Then I'm trying to say C plus plus. I'm printing C. So what is the result here? 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 What is the output? What is the output?
9, 10.
Is it 10? After printing that, this C value got changed. It will become 9. Now what is result here? It will be 9. Then what is here?
9.
So 9. After this, it will increment. So it will become 10. So the what is the result here? It will be 10. So this is how it will work. So let me take one more example, then we'll wind up. So let me do C is equal to 50. So what I'm doing is actually printing C plus plus C, C minus minus C. So what is the result here? What is the output here? C, just I'm printing, so result is 15. So what is output here? What is output?
16.
Okay, it is 16. What is output here?
16.
Okay, 16.
15.
So 15. See here I'm deducting, but the decrementing I'm doing, but it is not impacted right now. So it is 16 only. But after this printed, this value will become decremented to 15. So that is what is the difference between pre and post. So I hope we understood the pre and post. So what we understood the arithmetic operators. What all the arithmetic operators are there? So plus, minus, star, and division. So division we looked into integer division, when it will become integer division, when it will become float kind of things. So modulus, we discussed about modulus, and then we discussed about incrementing, decrementing using unary operators, that is plus plus and minus minus. So fine. So that is a unary operator. Then we have done that. So next kind of operators are assignment operators. So what is this assignment operators? So there is a equal, plus sign equal, minus equal, star equal, slash division, modulus equal. So what is these things actually? So now we know what is equal to. Equal to means like I'm trying to assign. So when I say C is equal to A plus B, I'm trying to assign the result to, so result to C. Now, apart from that, actually, there are so many other things. Just one equal is one, plus equal, minus equal, star equal, so many things. Then what is that actually? So assume that like instead of C is equal to A plus B, if it is something that like A is equal to A plus B. So now this is the normal operation. This can be rewritten something like this. So A, since this both are same, I'm trying to say this will become in front of here. So plus equal to B. So when I do something like this, so this both statements will be same. This both statements are same. So what happens if this and this is same? So this will come in front of equal to, that is called plus equal to. So now let us do one more example here. So now assume that like A is equal to 10, B is equal to 5. If you say A is equal to plus equal to B, what is the value output here? A value. I wanted to print A. So if I say minus equal to B, what is the value here? If I say star equal to B, what is the A value here? So any answer? And if I say A slash equal to B, what is the A value? Any answer? Simple addition, subtraction, something. So I want a result output. Anyone? So what is this actually? This is equal to A is equal to A plus B. This and both are same, correct? So what is the A value now? A is 10, B is 5. So A plus B is 15. Is that clear? Okay. Can you try this one? A,
5,
okay, 5,
50,
50, and 2. Good. So this is how I'm trying to. I hope you understood the things. Same thing, modulus. So this is how we'll be trying to do. So if you wanted to run a simple program, so let us run a simple program to perform those operations. So this is how I'll try to. So while writing the code, actually, like how should we write? Same thing. No? First, we should be writing the skeleton. And then you will be A is equal to 5. And I'm trying to say C is equal to A. What I'm trying to say. Then I'm C plus A means like I'm trying to add C plus A. 5 plus 5 is what I'm trying to add. So 10 and all things. So this is how I'm trying to execute. This is what I got. These are called assignment operators. So assignment operator to assign the values. Apart from that, like, so this kind of new kind of operators are there just instead of S equal to. So any questions on assignment operator? So we looked into arithmetic operators, we looked into assignment operators. Any questions on the assignment operators? Okay. The next kind of operators are relation kind of operators. What is the relation kind of operators? The relationship between two numbers or multiple numbers I want trying to check. So what is the relationship? When I say relationship, both number equal to or not. I'm checking both number are equal to means like equal is equal to equal I'm using to check actually both are equal to. Not equal to means like explanatory mark and equal to. So not equal to. One is greater, another one is lesser. So greater than or lesser than. So greater than or equal to, lesser than or equal to means like one is greater or equal to. So that is how. Let us take an example and we try to do. So for example, so A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10. So assume that A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10. So now I wanted to compare these two numbers. How should I compare? So I'm trying to say A is equal to B. So then what is the result? So A is not equal to B. So it will be false. Correct? So now A not equal to B. This is not equal to B. So what is the result? Yes, this is true. And is A greater than B? No, because B is greater. So this is a false. So B, A less than B. A less than B. Yes, this is true. So now, next is actually greater than or equal to. Now, any questions so far? Any questions? Okay. Next, two more are there. One was actually A greater than equal to. So first greater than equal to B. But actually this is two conditions. One is actually I'm checking this will be true when A is greater than B and or A is equal to B. In both condition, if any of these condition is true, this is true. If A is greater than B or A is equal to B, both are not there. So A is not equal to B, A is not greater. So the result is false. So other way around, A less than equal to B. So this will be true in two scenarios. One A is when A is less than B, when A is less than B, or when A is equal to B. But here A is less than B is true. So one is true, So if any one is true, then it will be true. So since one is true, the result is true. Any question here? Anybody not understood this? Any questions? Okay. Let us take one more example. So only these things are there. So let me ask you, or taking one more example. Now, I'm trying to say A is equal to 5, B is equal to 5. Now, so A equal to what is output? A not equal to B, what is output? A greater than B, what is output? A less than B, what is output? So A greater than or equal to what is output? A less than or equal to what is output? What is output here?
True.
Okay, it is true. Okay, what is output here?
False.
What is the output here?
False.
What is the output here?
False.
What is the output here?
True.
What is the output here?
True.
Because in both cases, this is not correct, but this equal to is true. This equal to is true. That is the reason it is true. So here also equal to is true. So fine. So now I hope you understood. Anybody has not understood these things? Equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Anybody has not understood these things? They are called relation operators. Why relation operators? Because I'm trying to compare the relationship between some operators, correct? Some operands. A and B relationship, B or C relationship, something like that. Yeah. So that is the reason it is called relational operators. Anybody has not understood relational operators? Anyone? Okay. So how should we do the simple program for relational operators? We can do the simple code. That's so it is very easy. So any doubts here? Any doubts? We can run that actually. So we can run the simple code. Let's check the simple operators. See, anything in the programming language, no, anything what we say, there is, you can check with the writing a program. So it is not that like a completely C programming language is theoretical. Everything is a practical. Any one statement, anything if you learn, you can practice by either working out, either you writing a code. So there is nothing called something like a theoretical kind of things. Like so, see, I wanted to check the same thing. I can write a code and I can check actually. So if E is equal to 5, so then E is equal to or not, like I wanted to on this one. So see, everything you can experiment writing a code in the C. So any one new concept, any concept if you are learning, you can write a code and you can check it actually. So 5 is equal to 5 is equal to 5. Yes. So what is this actually? You are getting 1 or 2 because 1 means like true, 0 means like false. 1 means true, 0 means false. 1 means true, 0 means false. That is what we are able to get the result. So equal to greater than. So you can check it actually. So this is how you will be getting the result. Any question? See, in C, when you are trying to learn everything, you should be not by heart anything, you just write a code and understand that. So that is the best way to learn the C. So assignment operator, you write some simple code and understand. Relation operator to write some simple code and understand. So that is what you should be doing it. Any questions here? Relational operators. Okay. The next one is logical operators. So what are the logical operators are there? There are something called ampersand, bar and bar, exclamation. There are three logical operators are there. What is this actually? Ampersand means like logical and, or bar, two bar means like logical or, exclamation marks is logical not. So what is this logical and, logical or, logical not? So let us discuss actually what exactly these logical operator means. So let me think this way. So if I say something like A and B, so this is a logical AND. What is meant by logical AND? So now assume that A is true. Assume that like A is true and B is true. So now if I do AND of these two, what I will be getting? The result I will be getting true. So how I got actually, if you understood this actually, like if you have to understand what is meant by AND gate or like logical gate. Anybody, I hope you studied the logical gates actually. What is the logical gates? Logical gates is something like this. So now what exactly logical gate means, like you will be giving two inputs and it will give one output. So assume that like A is input, B is another input and C is the output. So if A is true, B is true, the C result becomes true. And if any one false, either A false, either B false, or both false, the result will be false. This is the what is called logical gate truth table. It's like this is how the logical gate behaves. So everything like no, everything behaves certain ways, correct? So this is how the logical gate behaves. What is this logical gate called? This logical gate called logical AND gate. So what is that means actually? Let us say that like, let me draw again. So this is a logical AND gate. There is A input, B input, and then there is a C output. So how exactly it will behave? Let us try that, writing that. So now if there is A and there is a B and there is output C. So if A is true, B is true, the result is true. So this is how it behaves. If A is false and B is true, if B is true, the result is false. So if A is true, B is false, the result is false. And if both are false, the result is false. What is this called actually? This is called truth table of logical AND. So this is called truth table, means like this is how it will behave. So this is how it will behave. So something that like you can think about, this is actually some kind of a switch, some kind of a calculator, some kind of a operator, This operator is called logical operator. So if you give certain values, it will how it will behave. So if you both side, if you give truth, then only it will become truth, or else it will become false. So this is logical gate. So this is a truth table of logical gate. Anybody not understood this? Anybody not understood this? So each gate behaves certain way. What is a certain way means like how it will be computing the result based on the input. So this is a gates are certain functions, they perform, they behave certain way. How they behave? So based on this is we created the truth table. So this is the truth table of that. So is it understood? Any doubts here? Any doubts here? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So now let us try one example. So A is equal to 5, B is equal to 5, and C is equal to 10. So now what I'm trying to check first actually, A equal to B is true or false?
True.
Okay. Now this is the one input. What is other input? C is greater than B. True or false?
False.
C is greater than B. What is
True,
C?
sir. True,
So,
true, true.
so this side is also true, this side is also true. Then what would be the result?
True.
The AND gate. So then I should be referring this truth table. One side is true, another side is true, result is true. So this is how it will evaluate. Correct. So something. So this is how, like, one side is false, then the result will be false. Now here you check it actually. What is happening? A is equal to B, that is true. Is C is less than B, false. So one side is true, one side is false. Then what happens? One side is true, one side, first side is true, second side is false. The A is true, B is false, result is false. So while calculating this logical operators, you should know the truth table of that logical operators. If it is AND, you should know what is the truth table of AND. If it is OR, you should know what is the truth table of that one. So how this behaves actually. So that is what you should be knowing. R is actually, so any question in about AND before we switch to R, any question in AND? So let us take one example here again. So now I'm trying to take A is equal to 5, B is equal to 6, and C is equal to 10. Now I'm trying to do something that like A not equal to B, this is 1, and B less than 10, less than C. This is another one. So what is this actually? What is this? So this equal to, is A is not equal to B, true or false?
True.
So now it will return to 2. Now this ampersand, B is less than C, yes, true, correct. So this is also true. So in both true, then what is the result? Result is true. This is how these functions are calculated. These equations are calculated. Any questions here? So if one side, assume that like this side is false, then result is false, or this side is false, result is false, or something like that. So this is called logical AND operator. Any doubts? The logical AND operators? I will give question. I will give 5 minutes and you need to answer within that. So A is equal to 5, B is equal to 6, C is equal to 10, D is equal to 15. So now I'm trying to A equal to B and C less than D and B greater than A. This is one equation. Second one, B greater than A and so A less than or equal to B and C greater than or equal to D. So you answer 1 and 2. Take 5 minutes. So compute it, let me know. You type in the chat box. Everyone try. I want to see how many people are able to understand. Did you guys understand the question? See, first you compute this, then you compute. So any doubts on the question? Anybody not understood the question? So first one is F, second one is F. Okay. So what about others? What about others who is not able to follow? Okay. First is actually one by one. Let us go. So you want some more time? Do you guys want some more time to answer, or let me explain? Are you guys are there? So yes, okay. What about others? You want more time? One more minute. Do you want one more minute? Did you guys understood? Okay. Let me explain this. Okay. So now is A is equal to B? A is equal to B? No, A is 5, B is 6. So what happens actually? This becomes false. So I'm trying to solve this one first. So false. Then what happens actually? Now I come here. Is C is less than D? D is 15, C is 10. That is true. So this ampersand let it be there. So this is true. Now what happens actually next one? Then again ampersand. So what is that actually? B is greater than A. Is B is greater than A? Yes, that is true. Now I'm trying to solve these two. What is happening actually? One side is false, one side is true. Result is false. Result is false. The result is false. Now, then again ampersand, then T. So one side is false, one side is true, and the result is false. The end result is false. So this is how I will be resolving. So at least now you try the second one. This is how seems like first you should simplify. So one you compute and then you compute. Fine. Any doubts? So at least now you can compute, correct? But any questions? Okay, let me solve this also, no problem. Now, okay, now B is greater than A. Yes, this is true. Then ampersand. Ampersand. So now B is less than or equal to B. A is less than or equal to B. No, A is greater. Sorry, A is less than, yes, A is less than B, correct. A is 5, B is 6, is less than B. So this is also true. This is also true. Now, then again ampersand. Is C is greater than or equal to D? C is 10, D is 15. Neither equal, neither greater. So this is false. So what happens actually? If I solve these two, true plus true, the result is true. So now I got true, then ampersand F. So what is it actually? Ampersand F? Then if I try to solve this, one side true, another side is false, then result is false. So this is how I got result is false. So any doubts? Okay. Right. So now what we understood actually, we understood what is meant by logical AND. So next one is actually logical OR. What is a logical OR? So logical OR also has a truth table. So how is that truth table? So that truth table is different. So let me explain the truth table of logical OR. So logical OR is actually like somebody is asking that, yeah, either any one of you come. Either you are coming or that person is coming. It's like, so anyone is, if is ready to come, then it is done. No, something that like any one is true, then it will be true. So logical operator R will be something like this. Actually, this is a logical gate. So it will also has a true input. So it also has a two inputs, like something that like A and B, and it has an output. So what is how output looks like? So this is how the output looks like. So now let us see that like A is true, B is true, then what is the result? So let us say A and B. So A is true, B is true, the result is true. If A is true, B is false, the result is still true, because any one is true, result is true. If A is false, B is true, the result is still true. If both are false, then only the result is false. Then only result is false. This is how the logical OR gate works. So any doubts here on this truth table? So this is how it like means like, so any one is true, the result is true. In AND, both are true, then only it will be true. So this is how you should be remembering this truth table of these thing. And how it is represented? It is represented by 2 bars. So 2 bars. So now if I say that like A is equal to 10, B is equal to 5, B is equal to 5, and now you wanted to say A greater than B, or B less than or equal to A. So this is also true. This is also true. Then result is true. Or again you say B is greater than A. So now even if this is false, this is true, the result is true. So this is how the logical OR gate works. Any question? Any question on the logical OR gate?
No, sir.
Okay, now we understood OR. Next one is actually NOT. NOT is actually complement. So NOT is complement means like if it is a true, it will become false. So what is a complement? So anything that person, if you say anything, that person will telling opposite. How is a NOT gate is looked into? This is how the NOT gate. So there is only one input, one output. So assume that like A is input, B is output. So if A is equal to true, that guy will say opposite of that false. If A is false, that guy will say opposite of that is a true. So if you give, so this is a NOT. He is the opposite of what you give. So if you say yes, that guy will say no. If you say no, that guy will say yes. That is what is called a NOT gate. So logical GAND, logical OR, logical NOT gate. These are the 3 logical operators. These are the 3 logical operators supported in C. So any questions here? So logical operators. So now what we'll do now, we'll do one small program and we'll take a break. So we will continue this session from 5 onwards. Like, so we will be completing the entire this topic. So remaining bitwise and then conditional statement and for loop after 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock onwards, because we will be completing this whole thing today itself. So we'll do one simple program by logical things and gate. So any doubts on the logical and logical OR and what is called bitwise operators? So let me write a simple code to check it. Before seeing the result, I want you should be answering the result. So now A is equal to 5, B is equal to 5, C is equal to 10. So A equal to B and C is greater than B. What is the result? What is the result here?
True, sir.
Is it true? Because A is equal to B, that is true. C is greater than B, that is true. Both are true. The result is true. Okay, now what is the second one? A equal to B, that's true. C is less than B. C is less than B.
It is
C is
false.
false. Okay. Because what this side is false. So this is true, this is false. The result is false. Okay. Next one.
True.
So A is equal to B, that is true. The rest is, even if it is false, like one true, one false, still fine. OR gate, this is OR, not AND. So that is true. So A not equal to B, false. C less than B, that is also false, correct?
Yes, sir.
So result is, both are false, means the result is false. So what is that actually? A is not equal to B, that is false. And not of that ampersand is there. Not of that, if the false, the not of false is
True.
true. So A equal to B, that is true. Not of true is false.
False.
So this is how the result I should be getting it. So first one is true, that is 1. Second one is false, that is 0. Third one is true, that is 1. Fourth one is false, that is 0. Fifth one is true, that is 1. The sixth one is false, that is 0. It's fine. Any doubts? Okay. So to summarize, actually, what we covered is, we covered operators, mathematical operator is covered, unary operators are covered, then logical assignment operators are covered, relational operators are covered, logical operators are covered. So what is left out? Bitwise operator is left out, so that we will be covering in detail. And after that, shift operators is left out, then comma operator, size operator. So after then we will be looking into conditional statement and loop statements. So like we will be taking another 2 to 3 hours and 5 o'clock onwards. So we will be ending this model. So any doubts here? So so I'm going a little bit slow because this is important thing. So I'm going a little bit slow. So any doubts here? If there is no doubts, we can end the session. Thank you. So I'll be uploading this video into YouTube, and I'll be sharing the link to it so that you can watch. So thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.